We expected it. We'd been told by our producers, by Warner Brothers and by Fox, that unless something went very badly wrong, they wanted the program around for at least one more year. So you never know until it's finally announced, but we had been told to expect it. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Our fans have been extremely vocal and supportive about our show, and ours wouldn't be the first really great show that didn't, finish its life on television. So I feel like they were very hands-on. They sent in hundreds of packages of red vines to the producers in honor of the doctor whose favorite candy are red vines, and they started, so much stuff on the internet was started. There were Facebook fan pages and Twitter pages that were dedicated to saving our show once it moved from Thursday night to Friday night. And I know that the producers pay attention to that. Whether or not it affects the big network decisions, I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think that it hurt us at all.
When we first joined the show, J.J. Abrams said that he thought it was a 6-year show. Mm-hmm. But that's like saying you're going to climb Mount Everest, to be honest with you. It's very hard to get to even get on, let alone to do 6 years. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if we get 5 years. I would be surprised by 6. 6 is a very long time. Mm-hmm. But if we don't maintain the level of our production and our stories this year, then there won't be another year. I agree with Jasika. I think the fans have been amazing. But the bottom line for television is income. Mm-hmm. I think one of the problems with Fringe, one of the issues with Fringe now is that you can't just turn Fringe on and watch it. In the first season, yeah, you could because it was more procedural. Now, I turned on an episode recently, Bloodline, which was in season 3, and if you didn't know Fringe, you would have no idea what it was about. And so to redress this issue, what we're thinking of doing is to put together a 30 or 60-minute piece of a show, narrated show, to catch people up. Because otherwise, why would you tune on? Yes, it's very well made, it's very well acted, but I don't understand it, so I'm not going to watch it.
I think the 3rd season has been my favorite because that was when the alternate universe was fully introduced, and then I know that the 3rd season hasn't aired in France yet, but they established this this format where they showed one episode completely in this universe and one in another universe. And if you hadn't been watching every single week, like let's say you just watched all the even episodes, you would just know the story that was happening in this world. Likewise, on the other side, you would just know the story in the alternate universe. So we ended up having like 2 different television shows that kind of crossed over a little bit, but you were waiting for the big dynamic crossover for the Olivias to I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to spoil it for the French people. But I thought that was such a novel idea for a television show. Like it doesn't seem like it's going to work, but I think we made it work very, very well, and I think that's a testament to the writing. And we have incredible people, guest stars on our show, and incredible series regulars on our show that really, really make it a fine piece of television. I've kind of grappled. I do want to know more about Astrid, but only in a way that serves the show. I don't want it to be a self-serving thing, because the show isn't about Astrid. The show is about this unit of people, this fringe division, who have to use each other to solve these really bizarre cases that are happening. So I don't want it to be all about Astrid, but there is a part of me that really wants to know what she goes home to and how she's able to be such a stable person for the doctor. Like it takes a really special person to let their ego, take a back seat and to just be vulnerable to the crazy situations and circumstances that she's put in. So ideally I would like to see a little bit of a personal life, but I don't want the show to be about her, obviously. She's autistic, and so she doesn't have the emotional connection to the fringe division team members. She doesn't have the same kind of relationships with them. So she's a little bit awkward, and people are uncomfortable around her. And I think that it serves as a really nice foil to the Astrid that has been established here, because she is so integral to the Fringe team because of her empathy and her, her connections to everyone. She makes people feel supported and encouraged, and whenever whenever the doctor isn't able to figure something out, she's learned how to work with that and how to help him in any way that she can, but still stay back and let his brilliance, take precedence if it needs to. So, they're two very, very different characters, but I love them both.
They're both the same man, and I suppose the most accurate way that I look at this is that two men are divided by one event. One who stole a man's son, one who had a son stolen. And because of those choices in life, or because of that event in life, they went off onto different tangents. One of them became disturbed, insane, finished up in a mental institution. His wife committed suicide. He's the Walter that we know in this universe. The other one became vengeful and hard and brilliant, and became the leader of his universe. And that, to me, that's not a difficult choice. It's not a difficult thing to envisage happening. That if we had a son stolen, who knows what would happen, how we would turn out. So I like them both. Playing Walter is more fun. But Walter is a fine character, It's very true.
I agree with you, and I do not know the full story of the Observers. However, I can tell you that is going to be addressed in the 4th season. And it's not clear to me exactly how that happens, but in the season 3 finale, there's kind of this big cliffhanger that involves all of the Observers. And so it leads the audience to believe that this is going to be an integral part of the storytelling in season 4. But in terms of theories about them, I don't know, I thought maybe they were time travelers at some point, because when we had Christopher Lloyd guest starring, and he played the musician whose son had died in the car crash years before, and it was an observer that brought his son to him. So it made me think that the Observers could travel maybe interdimensionally and throughout time, which is a really cool idea, but I don't know exactly how that works, so I'll have to wait till season 4 myself to find out.
It's a very interesting question. I thought at times that it was, say in Greek drama, you have a chorus character, or in some Shakespeare, you have a chorus, a person that will sit above and observe and comment, but not become involved. And I thought for a long time that's what we had, this universal seeing eye. But then what happened, which was interesting, is we had 2 episodes where an observer had become involved and had to redress that. So I think that theory still holds. It's like the universal observer of watching to see how things eventuate and keeping a balance in the universe. Maybe, but we don't.